I am telling you what I see in this image. Nothing more. I see a river that doesn't seem interested in rushing anywhere. Its surface is almost perfectly still, carrying reflections instead of waves. It doesn't demand attention. It quietly accepts whatever appears above it. Trees, buildings, bridges, clouds. Everything is allowed to exist for a moment before the water lets it drift away. On the left stands a house almost wrapped in green. The ivy has climbed patiently over the walls, as if nature has been negotiating with architecture for decades. Neither has won. They simply learned to live together. Behind it, rooftops rise gently toward the sky. They don't compete for height. They seem built for permanence rather than admiration. Across the water, the streets appear clean, open, and calm. A handful of people walk without urgency. Nobody seems to be chasing time. The bridges connect one side to the other, but they don't interrupt the river. They simply cross it. Far in the distance, a tall cathedral tower quietly dominates the skyline. It isn't shouting. It doesn't need to. It has probably watched thousands of mornings begin exactly like this one. Cities often tell their stories through noise. This one seems to tell its story through patience. The trees are almost as important as the buildings. They soften every hard line, hiding corners that might otherwise feel empty. Their reflections stretch into the water, doubling their presence without making them larger. Nothing here appears accidental. Everything seems to have settled into exactly the place where time wanted it. The water becomes more than a river. It becomes memory. Every day, it reflects different people, different weather, different seasons, yet it never keeps any of them. The reflections disappear as quickly as they arrive. Perhaps that is what makes water different from people. We try to hold on to moments. Water simply carries them. The bridge in the distance is small compared to everything around it, yet it changes everything. Without it, two separate places remain separate. With it, distance almost disappears. Sometimes the smallest structures have the greatest purpose. The buildings don't appear modern, neither do they appear forgotten. They exist somewhere between history and today, not preserved like a museum, not replaced like an old photograph, simply continuing. That may be the most difficult thing for people to do. Continue without needing to become something different. The light is soft. There are no dramatic shadows. Nothing forces your eyes toward a single point. Instead, the image asks you to wander. You notice the trees, then the bridge, then the windows, then the reflection, then the cathedral. Each observation leads naturally to the next. Nothing competes. Everything contributes. The river creates space. Without it, the buildings would stand closer together. Without it, the reflections would disappear. Without it, the silence would feel different. Water often separates places. Here, it seems to connect them. Perhaps that's why this image feels peaceful. Nothing here is trying to impress anyone. It simply exists. Modern life often teaches us to move faster, to build higher, to become louder. This place quietly suggests another possibility. Stay, observe, allow time to pass without measuring it. The people walking along the river will eventually disappear from view. The sunlight will change. Clouds will arrive. The reflections will become something else. Yet the river will continue exactly as it always has. Maybe peace isn't found by stopping time. Maybe it's found by accepting that everything moves, even when it appears perfectly still. I don't know where everyone here is going. I don't know who lives behind these windows. I don't know what conversations have crossed these bridges. I only know what I see. I see a place that doesn't resist time. It lets time flow through it, just as naturally as the river itself. And perhaps that is why it feels so calm. Because nothing here is trying to hold on. Everything simply continues. That is what I see.